Oh yeah. Oh. The Hamilton Beach Survey definitely has the juiciest of blood oranges. Welcome back, everybody, to Nebula Quest. I am Noden, your host, as always. So, as we get underway, and we just go... No. Wrong buttons. No. As we... Exit. Thank you. Alright, here we go. Why are we not... Oh, we're doing this thing again. Thank you. As we get underway, and we glance over Space Car Bingo, because we have discovered nothing, because, well, we haven't left this station, this system yet. We've been exploring this massive system with these two stars that are hugely far apart. I did the math, and I didn't write it down. But as I recall,
engines engaged.
It would take something like a month. I think it was a month. Basically for light from one of the stars to reach this other star. Like, it was a huge distance in between these two things. It was like 180,000 light seconds. You know what? We can do this. We can do this live. You know, let's cut the engines. Here we go. All right. Let's do some math, you know, together at home. You know, it's fine. So we have well, let's bring it up, the actual star up, so we can actually see exactly how far away it is. It is there we go. And there's the star, 189. So let's call it 190,000. Let's just round it up, you know, 190. I got to turn my phone sideways so I get the number all in here. 190,000 light seconds. All right. So we know that there are 60 seconds in a minute, so we can divide by 60, so that's 3,166 minutes. So let's divide that by hours, so that's another 60 minutes in an hour. 52 hours. Okay, it's not a month, but a long time, 52 hours. Divided by 24 is days, so that's 2.199 hours. Days. Sorry, 2.199 days. 2 days, not a month. 2 days. Vastly overestimated what my memory of the numbers were. I actually just remembered what other math I was doing and where that came in, and I will talk about that a little bit later. But yes, so 2 days for light from one of the stars to reach the next star. Huge system. Okay. Meanwhile, let us get back up to all these unexplored things that are just really close. I mean, just so darn close. So you may remember in the last episode we begun a bit of a competition. It was not a competition. It was a chance to basically we started a let's call it a competition. We started a competition for to win a copy of Elite Dangerous, this lovely game. So you could come in, you could start exploring the universe as I am, or the galaxy at any rate, as I have been. And to do that, all you had to do was subscribe to our brand new Twitter, which is at GWP channel or at Goop channel, Games We Play channel, and retweet the post for that video. And you had until last night at 11:59 Eastern Standard Time, or Eastern Time. There's still some debate in my mind because I never looked it up whether we're on Standard Time or Daylight Savings Time. I don't know how that works, so I'm just going to say Eastern Time. Anyways, as I worried, nobody in fact entered. I did have one very nice gentleman who seemingly already plays the game. He retweeted a post that I'd put out on why am I not slowing down? I'm positive I'd cut my engines. You know, I'm just a bad flyer. You know, that's just the truth. So yeah, nice guy retweeted a post that I put out about it on that at Goop channel, but nobody entered, so we aren't giving away a copy. Which, I mean, that's too bad. The one I have been considering. Is that? Yes. Okay. I just wanted to make sure that updated. I have been considering rolling it over a week, but at the same time, I'm kind of thinking, yeah, no. You know, why not? Why I do that? Again, it's nice. The big reason to do it is to drum up, you know, traffic to the channel, and also, like I said, it is to get you guys into the game, because it is a game that I do love playing, and I really wish that I hadn't chosen a format for this game that only allowed me to play it once a week. In fact, I really want to try to finagle my schedule around to play it a second time a week, so that we're getting 2 episodes in a week instead of just 1. And I have an idea for it, but that will be something that will come up later. What am I doing? What am I scanning through all this crap? I don't need to go through this much stuff. Okay, unexplored. Yes? Next unexplored, please. There we go. And I think just bringing it in for a second time a week, it will help, because it'll just be enough that people aren't forgetting about it, you know, 1 week to the next, which, you know, could be a problem. Let's have a quick sip of our tea while we scan this. No space coffee for first day. Hamilton Beach survey didn't have a space coffee. As prolific as the franchise is throughout the galaxy, there isn't one here, you know? So, who knew? We got tea going instead. But yeah, so we may reduce a competition and something like that, and we do still have Space Card Bingo going on, which, again, every line of Space Card Bingo that we fill, we will be giving out a copy of the game. We are close. If we ever find a neutron star or indeed an elite rank, we have 2 lines that are nearly ready to go, and other than that, we're going to have to just keep on exploring, and that's a part of it as well, is that some of these will get progressively more difficult, but also progressively easier as the lines fill in. Some of the lines, I should say, will become progressively easier. Some of the things are just going to be difficult to find, period. Full stop. Yes. Elite Dangerous news. So, GDC, which is the Game Developers Conference. Game Developers Conference has been going on. And, there we go. And Elite Dangerous has pulled a couple of awards. I don't remember, one of them for technology, I think? I don't remember. And the other one was the Audience Choice Awards for it. So the audience of game developers liked the game so much, they said, hey, this is our favorite game. So they chose that, which I think is pretty cool. Because it is, like I said, it is a game I do really enjoy playing. Because you do have this opportunity to go out and explore and see the galaxy, or at least an artistic rendering of it. Which, I mean, we've all seen like Hubble, you know, imagery and whatnot, and most of us are probably pretty taken with it because it is quite beautiful. But just the ability that we have now in Elite Dangerous to kind of go out and actually, you know, touch those elements of that make those photos so beautiful, just make this game so much more special than it might otherwise be. Alright, let's lock onto this guy. I think this is the last of the asteroid belt here. And then I think we got a couple of planets, or planetoids, or dwarf planets. Yeah, not sure what we got going on still. Alright, let's kick this phone over, just in case it rings, because I have a feeling it's going to. Because I've been getting emails all day, and people are just constantly, like, you know, they're just like, oh, Noden, you're so cool, won't you talk to us? And I'm like, well, you know, I got a lot of work to do. That's not what happened, but, you know, it could have, you know, I'm not, you know, who knows. Okay, why is... Oh, it's on the far side of the sun, of the star, I should say. I'm trying to correct myself a little bit more when I label a astronomical, object. For instance, like here, I just said that was a sun. It's not. It's a star. Technically, there is only one sun, which is our sun. Our sun is the sun because that is the name we gave our star, or at least one of them. Technically, this star, our sun's name is Helios, I believe, which is Greek. It means sun. Or else the sun god or something. I don't know. Just as the moon, there are many moons, but there is only Luna. Luna is, is our moon. Many moons throughout the universe, that's fine. It's not the moon, there are many. So we have Luna. Moons are moons. So this is a little planet, very little, small little planet. Let's just go take a quick little peek-see at her. And then, star systems. So we live in the solar system. Did I just say our star's name was Helios? No, our star's name is Sol, which is why we live in the solar system, and not, solar system. Why did I say Helios? Helios is Greek. I've been doing some Greek mythology stuff of late, Greek and Roman mythology stuff, and it's clearly playing on my brain. That is a very muddy looking planet. It's just all kinds of muddy. Let's see if we can get back on the light side of it and take a look at it from a slower speed. Yeah, it's like Dagobah levels of, it's like one giant, like, marsh. Alright. Moving on to the next one here. Too far out. Unidentified signal source, don't care. Unexplored. Locate a destination. What was I talking about? Yeah, so there we go. One more reason for me to correct myself, because I am, in fact, an idiot. Oh, speaking of being an idiot, or at least trying to correct myself from being an idiot, one thing I have been doing this week, or at least I'm starting this week, is I have begun, I should say I have begun again to quit smoking. I have been, was a smoker actually for a long, long time, and then a few years ago, or like 4 years ago, I'd actually quit, and I'd actually been quit for 3 years. And then sometime around, not this past Christmas, but the Christmas before, I started smoking again because I am an idiot. So, trying to just, stop that. Just trying to, like, and, I've talked about how I've joined a gym and whatnot. I'm trying to get, myself back into a healthful state in general. And indeed, yes, I did actually start going to the gym before I had quit smoking, but I'd set a date to quit smoking, so that was all part of the grand plan that I had set out and scheduled. There was a little thing on my Google Calendar. It was a little quit smoking, stop smoking, day 1. But yeah, so that was there. Continue to slow down so we don't run into this planet as we scan it. Thank you. 2,400 kilometers. Alright, we'll just take a quick little peek-see. And, yeah, so that's actually going pretty well. I did pick up some Nicorette gum there just to help me through the worst of the cravings on the first few days. Today's actually the first day that I'm trying to get through without any of the gum. Basically what I did was I used, well, the first 2 days I just basically replaced, I didn't smoke that much, when I quit. Like, it's only like about 5, 6 cigarettes a day. But they're very specific times that I would have them, like, on your way to work, or specific times at work, kind of a thing. And that's just a big yellow grossy blob. That's a big yellow gross blob. Rocky planet. It's made out of mustard, and it's a mustard planet. Alright, let's go to, we only got one more. There's only one more left. Oh my. Are we actually going to continue on our quest to a nebula, the Horsehead Nebula, the one just over there? That was really convenient that I was able to do that. I'm impressed with my cinematographic skills. I don't know. Anyways, but yeah, so Didn't smoke much, but it was time, and so I was using the gum for the first 2 days just blanketly whenever I would have had a cigarette, just to stop smoking, which is rule one. And then the previous day, so this is day 6, today's the 6th of March. It should tell me when I join a station. I think it's the 6th of March. So today's the 6th day. So for first 2 days, and then these next few days after that, so day 3, 4, 5, and today, or 3, 4, 5, where I'd cut out all but the worst 2 craving times. So that was on my way to work, and then actually right before I went to bed was another one that was the big one. So I was only using the gum for those ones. And then, except for last night. Last night I didn't have one on before I went to bed. This is a pretty little planet. Look, it's all very bluey. Let's go take a little peek-see at this guy. How big is this? 3,600 kilometers? It's a nice little planet. Looks like it's got, oh, it looked like that had a bunch of water in it, but then when we got closer, I'm like, maybe not. I think it's just got a lot of water in the atmosphere. Oh man, I want that detailed surface scanner. Lots of little storms on it, though. We'll say that. Many storms on this planet. Okay, let's try to cut so we stay on the light side of it, but I want to see what's on the far side of this planet. Doesn't appear to be any real surface water. Or if there is, it's just really murky. Well, maybe there is just over here. So maybe it is one big continent and then the rest of it's sort of there's a big ocean on the other side. I don't know. I can't tell. Alright, let's see if there's anything we haven't explored here. We've got... oh, there are still a few. Alright, that's fine. But yeah, so getting ready, getting there. Today's, like I said, today's the first day that we're going even through the heavy days without smoking. This is just sort of a regime, we'll say, a quitting regime that I kind of decided on, based on my experience from the last time, which I just did cold turkey, which was just I set a date last time when I quit 4 years ago, that I just said, okay, this is when I'm not going to smoke anymore, and then I just didn't, and it is hard, and I didn't know anything about addiction until then, and now I know slightly more, and I know that addiction is hard, man, and your brain will do everything in its power to get the things that it thinks that it needs in its life, and man, I can't even explain how amazingly hard your brain will work to do that, and to convince you that everything's fine, that, you know, if you have a cigarette, it's not the end of the world, but it knows that it is. It's like, oh, once I convince you once, I know I can convince you again. And this is literally your brain, your unconscious brain, doing this to your conscious brain, and then trying to convince your conscious brain, and doing usually a pretty damn good job at it. Even if it's unsuccessful, still doing a damn good job of it. Yeah, I'm constantly amazed at how much your brain can actually fight you, and it makes me more what's the word I'm looking for? I'm more aware of it now in my day-to-day as well, not just for things that are relating to addiction, but just in general, like trying to make sure that I'm more aware of when, like, I'm trying to lie to myself, when I'm like, oh no, things are going really well, when they're not going well at all, or, oh, it's okay, we can get through this, when there's no way in hell we're gonna get through this, or, oh, that cop didn't, like, see me and isn't gonna give me a speeding ticket when, you know, he's actually gonna give me a speeding ticket. So, I mean, those are pretty bad examples, but there's lots of times where we kind of lie to ourselves, and indeed to other people, that we don't really need to, but we just sort of do because it's habit, or it's convenient, or and sometimes, I mean, don't get me wrong, sometimes lying to yourself is the only way to get through something, or the only way to advance in some things. That whole adage of fake it till you make it, 100% works. 100% works. You're not a confident person, fake being confident, and then you become confident as you go. There's just no getting around it. This is the way it is done. If you're not, if you're trying to start a YouTube channel, you're not very good at talking to yourself, best way to do it, act really confident, act like you've been doing this for years, do the show, and then eventually you get to the point where you're okay, you're doing all right. Me, for instance, still not very good, and I have much more confidence now than I ever did. But it's not a confidence issue now. It's just a John's brain dumb stuttering, hey, how you doing, kind of a thing. So, what am I doing? I'm still mostly aimless. One of these days, I'd really like to pick that up a bit. Come on, I want to get the last of these explored. Quickly now. How many do we got? 2 more? I think it's just 2 more. And again, we're actually not even gonna get out of this stellar influence. This is gonna be the first time I think that we have started at a station and we're gonna end an episode at the same station. Maybe I won't go back to the station. Maybe we'll sleep rush, like rough. Rush? We'll sleep rush? This crazy Canadian band. I'm gonna do a dubstep scanner just real quick. I was worried about that. I was like, I wonder if there's like a couple of moons or something that I missed out over here. Shit. Okay, so we've discovered another little planet. Let's lock onto this guy. I think that's actually, yeah, it's right there. That's what I thought too. I don't know why I thought that there was a moon there. I don't know if it's just because it had that little orbit line from so far away. That's probably why I thought that, but yeah, it's just got its own little satellite. That's fine. I can scan a little satellite. I don't mind. Bing. Alright. Alright, so what else do we have to explore? 3 things now. Another planetoid with a satellite. And then one last planetoid. Alright, we can do this. We're just going to do it quickly. We're not even going to pay attention to the clock. We're not even going to look at it. Everything's going to be fine. We're going to have a sip of tea. But yeah, so I was just, and the big thing is with smoking, or I should say with quitting smoking, just to bring everything back onto topic, is that you have to be ready to do it. You have to want to do it. And you mentally have to say, okay, this is something that I want to do, because you're gonna have to remind yourself of that fairly regularly, or it'll never work. So like I say, you need to be able to say, this is something that I want to do, because if it's not something that you want to do, then you won't do it, and that's all part of the point. And that's the problem, is that a lot of people know that smoking, for instance, is bad for them, or whatever. Mostly that's the main reason people quit. It's like, oh, it's bad for me. That's actually not why I'm quitting, but that's besides the point. But people saying, oh, I need to do it for my health, and they go, well, but I don't want to, and that's it's a valid reason not to. Like, it sounds stupid, but it is. It's because you're not going to be successful until you want to. You're better off spending some time trying to figure out why it is you're quitting, and really convincing yourself that that is what you want to do, and not just because my doctor tells me to, or my partner tells me to, but because it's something that I really want to do for myself, and that's how you're going to get it done. Smoking also is quite expensive, and then this is also not the reason I'm quitting, but it is actually expensive. Now, and I've done the math here, which is bringing this all back together, where the month-long time period came around, was that so even at 5 cigarettes a day, so 5 cigarettes a day over 365 days divided by 25 cigarettes in a pack is something like what is it, and $12 a pack, right? Because I smoke premium cigarettes, because that's just the idiot that I am. Bink, there we go. Well, last one was Came out to, at 5 cigarettes a day, $876 a year, or like 73 bucks a month. Now, that is not an insignificant amount of money. Now, $876 a year doesn't sound like a whole lot of money, really. But $73 a month, I mean, that's a phone bill. I mean, that's literally another phone bill. Well, it's a little bit less than a phone bill, but it's nearly a phone bill. That would be my cable bill, and we've already talked about this many times about how I don't buy cable. It's just a needless expense for something that I don't even really want to do anymore, so why am I still doing it? And that's part of the reason why I'm doing it. The other reason is just because I'm ready. I don't want to. I just don't want to smoke anymore. It's a social thing. I'm tired of having to go outside for it, though I will miss going outside. That's not true, but I'm tired of having, to, like, being out, like, with a few friends and, like, being the only person who has to leave the bar every, 2 hours to go have a cigarette. I'm tired of being winded while running up a set flight of stairs. These are things that, work, like exercise and things, can help, but smoking is the #1 thing that's going to improve my cardiovascular, health, so we're going to quit that. It's a lot of little things. It's just, it doesn't fulfill my need for it, my desires for it, which are, I don't know. When you forget what they are, then you know it's time. It's a very complicated thing, and a lot of the reasons, like, well, why would you start smoking? And that's a damn good question, because nobody knows why they'd start smoking. I know why I started smoking, because I always knew I was going to smoke. When I was a child, I knew I was going to smoke, probably because it was much more prevalent in film, like in media, that, like, smokers were much more prevalent in media and whatnot than they are now. Everybody smoked in movies and things like that, and I'm not saying that that's a reason or an excuse as to why I started smoking, but it definitely is one of the reasons, is that I always knew. I just always knew I was going to be a smoker. And now in my life, I realize that I'm not meant to be a smoker. I'm meant to be a little bit different. It's really weird, actually. Like, I was talking with somebody who I don't know very well, who I don't see very often, and I've only met, like, like a few times, and she recently found out that I smoked. She's like, "Oh, I didn't know that you smoked." I'm like, "Yeah," and she's like, "Wow, I really thought that you would have been like, you were like a health nut." And I went, "Well, I suppose, other than the smoking, I kind of am. I mean, I've only really, again, started exercising again now, but I've always eaten very well. I take good care of myself, generally speaking, except for the fact that I constantly pollute and confuse my body with these horrible things." Yeah, plus there's the minor fact that, I've had some health issues recently in the past year that, really make smoking even seem stupider. So I had cancer. I had cancer in my thyroid. I think I've talked about this before I think I've talked about it in this before. I did a video on my old channel, which I think I've taken down now, or at least not made public anymore, that talked all about the thyroid cancer and whatnot. But yeah, so I mean, it's a stupid thing that once you've already had cancer once to start smoking again after the fact and just tempt fate. So that was another big reason where I'm like, why are you being such a fucking idiot? Like, you gotta stop doing this. So I'm stopping it, and so today's day 6, like I said, and doing very good, drinking lots of water. Trying not to eat a lot of candy. I am so tempted to, actually I should say that that's been really hard, because they talk about the physical addiction thing where you're just, you just want to put stuff in your mouth, which, wink wink, but which isn't too much of a problem. The biggest problem for me right now is that there is a slight draw to that, and more to the point is I've also been on a big candy, like, fix of late. Like, I'm usually a salty person where I like to eat chips and things, so, but not all the time, but when I do, I will devour like a full bag of like Lay's, like, salt and vinegar chips, and I have to ration myself. I have to portion myself out, or I will do exactly that. I have to, but lately I've been on in a candy thing where all I want is like wine gums and Skittles, and it's gonna be tough, man. I'm avoiding going to the store, which I actually have to go to the store later. I gotta avoid the candy aisle at all costs, or I'm just gonna. It's gonna be like, it's like, oh, you picked up, let's see, some kale and some spinach and 8 bags of Skittles and a bag of wine gums. Okay, well, you know, just that's just perfect. That's exactly the kind of, you know, healthy eating lifestyle that we're all going for. All right, let's get docked here. And we will call it finally an episode. And why is this all rearranged? Oh, I think we had an update. Maybe that's why. Nothing's where I left it. I'm all very confused. It's like I had the cleaning crew into the boat, and they moved all our stuff, you know, when they were dusting or something. Alright, slow it down. Oh, wrong one.
Cargo scoop deployed.
Nope, wrong one. Damn it.
Cargo scoop retracted.
I've got to get that off of this stupid joystick. Ugh. And then I have to remember that the button... I put it as a very prominent button on the top of the joystick, thinking, oh, that'll make it easier to remember that that's what it is. But every time I go and reach over, I'm like, oh, no, that's way too obvious. I wouldn't put it there. I'd want to put it slightly farther out of reach so I didn't accidentally put my joystick down in the middle of a dogfight. I wouldn't put my landing gear down in the middle of a dogfight. But the truth is, I land a lot more often than I dogfight, and I did put it there, so I have to remember that's where I put it. Needless information. Alright, yep. This is like when your Gran's trying to park. And you're like, oh god, why don't you just pull in, Gran? Why did you have to back into the spot? Goodness gracious. Why everybody just pulls in. Actually, my whole family is a back-end family.
Docking successful.
Docking successful.
Disengaged.
Alright, let's enter the hangar. Let's go to our starport services. I just want to check to see how much money we're just sitting here waiting to gain. So let's recenter this because I'm an idiot. Let's get a refuel real quick. Head over to Universal Cartographers because I want to see how much this system is going to net us. Almost 20 grand. Wow. This is a big system. This is a big system for us. This is why I hung out and continue to do this. I don't remember how much we stood to make when we last left off in the last episode. I'll check that out real quick and I'll post it on the screen now. Oh, it was a bad sound effect. Bing! There we go. Better sound effect. And there, my phone tried to help as well. But yeah, so that's not bad. I'm pretty happy with that. So when we finally get on our way again and find out a system, we're going to almost double our money on this one system alone. Perfect. Alright guys, that's going to have to do it. Until next time, ciao, I love you. Don't start smoking. Good night.